Hey guys, I'm Brandon. Today we are going to tell you another story from the book of 1 Samuel to continue this book of the Bible. We have our channel in Spanish, and the link is in the description. This story is in 1 Samuel chapter 15. Let's listen to the story. Saul was 30 years old when he became king. He gathered an army to defend the Israelites against Philistine raiders. Any strong or brave man was added to his fighters. Samuel came to Saul with a message from God. The Lord is to punish the Amalekites for attacking and killing the Israelites as Moses led them through the wilderness. You are to attack and destroy them. You must also destroy all the animals too. No living thing is to be spared. Saul summoned his fighting men and told him, over 200,000 soldiers. They moved south towards Amalekite territory. On the way, they warned the Canaanites who lived nearby to stay away from the battle, and they would be spared. The Canaanites had shown kindness to all the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt. King Saul and his family set an ambush for the Amalekites in the ravine. The Israelites then attacked the Amalekites as God had ordered. As the Amalekites retreated, Saul's army chased them all the way to the border with Egypt. No one was spared. They captured Agag, the king of the Amalekites. But instead of following God's orders, King Saul spared his wife and took him as a prisoner. They killed all the weak animals, but destroyed God's instruction and kept the best of the sheep and cattle. They decided to keep some as plunder, and others were to be sacrificed to God. The Lord spoke to Samuel. I regret that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions. Samuel was angry and cried out to the Lord all that night. Early in the morning, Samuel went to meet Saul. He was told that Saul had gone to Carmel to set up a monument in his own honor, and then had gone on to Gilgal. When Samuel found Saul, the king said, I have carried out the Lord's instructions. Samuel replied, What then is this bleating of sheep in my ears? What is this lowing of cattle that I hear? Saul explained that the animals had been plundered from the Amalekites, but the best were to be sacrificed to God. Samuel replied, God sent you on a mission to totally destroy the wicked Amalekites. Why did you disobey and plunder? But I did obey, Saul protested. I completely destroyed the Amalekites and brought back Agag the king. The soldiers took the best sheep and cattle, but the very best of these are for sacrifice. Samuel replied, Does the Lord delight more in sacrifices than obeying him? To obey is better than sacrifice, for to go against what you are told is like the sin of witchcraft. Not to obey is like the sin of worshipping false gods. You have turned away from the word of the Lord, so he has turned away from you being king. I have sinned, Saul confessed. I was afraid of the people and listened to them. As Samuel told to go, Saul took hold of parts of his clothing, and it tore. So Samuel said to him, Today the Lord has torn the rule of Israel away from you and given it to someone who is better than you. Samuel then executed Agag, king of the Amalekites himself. Samuel returned to his home and never went to see Saul again. We saw how Saul was disobedient because he put his own will over the will of God. Saul almost completely obeyed God, but he didn't obey completely. He only did a part. When we obey God, we must obey completely, and we should obey everything the Bible says, not just the parts of the Bible we like. For example, the Bible says we should not steal, and yes, we obey. But let's say if we are envious or vengeful and want to take revenge for what another person has done to us, then we are not completely obeying God. We must obey God in everything because He knows what is best for us. He knows more than us. For this reason, we must trust God fully and obey Him, not do what we think is best. You can ask God to help you always do His will. God is always willing to take care of you and help you. Always remember to obey God and trust in Him, and everything will be fine for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in the next episode. Bye!